Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for coming today. It is so wonderful to be here at PS 50. This is one of my favorite schools in the city. It is a proud Children's Aid Society community school. As some of you know, I spent 5 years before joining City Hall leading the Children's Aid Society. And so I want to first of all thank the new principal, Principal Quinones, who is doing amazing things here at the school. And also my former colleague, Jeanette Fenn, who I know is here somewhere, who is the community school director here. And all the folks from PS 50, from the Children's Aid Society and DOE who are here. We know that at PS 50 and at schools like it around the country, there are amazing and talented young people who want to learn and are ready to learn. But too many of these students are struggling in these schools for reasons that have nothing to do with their intellect or their motivation. These students, of course, need strong academic programs, rigorous curriculum, and high-performing teachers. But they also need to be supported in every aspect of their lives so that nothing stands in the way of them being able to come to school and take advantage of those strong programs and those great teachers. It is just common sense that a child who comes to school stressed is going to struggle. A child who comes to school hungry is going to struggle. A child who hasn't gotten enough sleep because of a difficult home environment is going to struggle. A child who is regularly missing school because of health or other reasons is going to struggle. And yes, a child who can't see the whiteboard is going to struggle. A great school, a school that is truly committed to every child, must have a strategy for supporting each and every one of those students. That's what community schools are all about. My boss, Mayor Bill de Blasio, is a national leader in this movement. He has already exceeded his promise to the city to support 100 community schools. We now have 130 schools that are part of the Community Schools Initiative. And we have Chris Caruso, the director of the DOE's Office of Community Schools, here with us. Mayor de Blasio is intent on giving all of these schools the resources they need to build better opportunities for children around the city. So today, we are excited to announce a major new commitment to our community schools. And to make that announcement, I am so proud to introduce our mayor, Bill de Blasio. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you. You've been an extraordinary leader of our community schools effort. I know you are a true believer. I know you were a true believer before you became deputy mayor in your previous role as the head of the Children's Aid Society, which is really one of the organizations that brought this whole idea to the fore and made it something that's now being discussed all over this nation as a better model for education. So thank you for your leadership. It is a great honor to be here at PS 50. PS 50 is one of our community schools and one of our 94 renewal schools. And for those of you who have been paying attention to the renewal school effort, all renewal schools are also community schools. That's one of the key investments we're making in our renewal schools. Today, here at PS 50, about 200 students are receiving eye exams for free. This is going to be something that makes a huge impact on the lives of these kids. It's happening before our very eyes. Get it? Thank you. That was good, huh? I write my own material. Over the next 4 years, that's right. That's all it took with some one-liners. Over the next 4 years, every community school student, every student in all 130 community schools will get a free eye exam. This has never happened before in the history of New York City. This is an amazing thing, and this will be a big deal for these kids. The city is investing $10 million in this effort over the next 4 years, and every child who, as a result of that exam, needs a pair of eyeglasses will get a free pair of eyeglasses. Now, that last part is because of a great public-private partnership, and you're going to hear from the leaders of a company we're very, very proud of. We're proud of it because it is a homegrown New York company. We're proud of this company because they're so profoundly charitable, and it's part of their very mission and their sense of mission to be charitable while at the same time running their company. So I want to thank the leaders of Warby Parker that you'll hear from in a moment, for really doing something that's exemplary. I hope many others in the business community follow this example because you're going to be making a huge impact in the lives of these kids. Now, we estimate about 65,000 kids will get these free eye exams, and about 20,000 of them will need eyeglasses, and again, they'll get them for free. 20,000 kids will get free eyeglasses. This is a great thing unto itself, but it's also an example of what community schools mean, why community schools change the whole model. They change the paradigm of education by getting at every part of a child's reality, getting at the whole child, figuring out what a child needs to succeed and addressing it energetically and forthrightly. You're going to hear from some of the folks, including the folks from Warby Parker, who made this possible. But let me also acknowledge a couple other folks who are a part of this today and played an important role and obviously share our enthusiasm for this effort. I want to thank my senior advisor for public-private partnerships, Gabrielle Fialkoff. Oh, there she is. Okay, I want to thank, I know our health commissioner likes people to be able to have good eyesight. Isn't that right, Dr. Mary Bassett? Thank you. I want to thank the principal of this great school who's already making a wonderful impact on the trajectory of this school, Esther Quinones. Where is Esther? Thank you, Esther. I want to thank Phoebe Boyer, the CEO of the Children's Aid Society. I've now said very nice things about the Children's Aid Society, which they deserve. And Dr. Randy Herman, the first Vice President of the Council of Supervisors and Administrators. Thank you very much, Randy. Thank you to all of you who believe in this effort and understand what a huge impact it is going to have. You know, I like to offer an analysis of what education means today. I'm going to offer it again. Education today has more impact on economic destiny than at any time in human history, literally, any time in previous human history. And when you think about that, then we owe it to our students to figure out every way they can learn, because we're not just talking about their intellectual development or their social development, we're talking about their very ability to survive in today's economy and the future economy. That's why the community schools concept is so powerful, because rather than being narrow and saying we're just going to teach kids what's in these books, for example, we're going to think about what will allow this whole child to move forward. Community schools think about physical health, they think about eyesight, they think about mental health, they think about the role of parents in education, and bring all those pieces into the equation. And that's going to be necessary for the future of education, because we can't just address one part of a child's reality and expect to succeed. We have to go as far as we can. Community schools concept, very simple: whole child, whole school, whole community. Everyone working towards a common goal of the overall development of the child. And this model is going to be particularly powerful in some of our schools that need the most support. We think it's going to be one of the reasons why the Renewal Schools turn around. Imagine if you're a child who can't see the blackboard. Let me make it very, very simple. If you can't see the blackboard, and you don't even know that that's what's holding you back. Because a lot of young kids, if they have a vision problem, they don't always articulate it. Or they think they can make out things and they're really not making it out as well as they could, and it's holding them back. Or there's some families who know there's a challenge, but they don't know how to address it, or they can't afford to address it. Well, we're not going to let that happen. All the kids who get these vision exams are going to get the result they deserve, which is the glasses they need. So, we're very, very proud of the fact that community schools not only address the whole child, they recognize the reality of parents' lives today. Just like I said, education determines economic destiny as never before. Parents are busier than ever before. Too many parents, sadly, have to work 2 jobs, in some cases 3 jobs. Parents have extraordinary responsibilities. And sometimes the things they even want to do for their child, they can't get to in a timely fashion. But now they're going to know that their child in any of these community schools is going to get that eye exam done for them. It's one more challenge a hardworking parent doesn't have to add to what is an endless list of needs. So this is going to have a great impact on all of these kids. We're going to reach far into our school system with it. And I got to tell you, Warby Parker, they are mindful, because there's some cool guys here with a cool company. They've also assured us that the glasses will be cool, so the kids will really want to wear them. And I appreciate that. They understand what our young people need. They want to give back to the community. They want to make sure that what they're doing will have a lasting impact. So we want to thank them for their generosity. And it's an example of what businesses can do when they really want to find a way to make a profound impact, the kind of partnership we can create between business and government that will make a lasting impact on so many children's lives. Quickly in Spanish, tengo el placer de anunciar hoy que la ciudad invertirá $10 millones para ofrecer exámenes de la vista gratis a todos los estudiantes de escuelas comunitarias. Además, gracias a Warby Parker, ofreceremos lentes con prescripción gratis a todos los estudiantes de escuelas comunitarias que los necesiten. Esto muestra cómo las escuelas comunitarias están reinventando la educación para el siglo XXI, asegurando que los estudiantes tengan todo lo que necesitan para triunfar. Agradezco a Warby Parker por su apoyo sin precedentes a nuestros estudiantes y por mostrar cómo las empresas pueden retribuir a nuestra ciudad. With that, I want to first turn to our chancellor. This chancellor knows, because she was a teacher, because she was a principal, because she was and is a mother and grandmother, she knows how important the health of a child is in their ability to succeed academically. And she knows what an impact this will make on kids across our schools. Joining us to celebrate today, Chancellor Carmen Farina.
First of all, I want to thank the cool guys to my right, because the more I watch, particularly I do a lot of watching of TV shows now, and the thing is to have cool glasses, not to have glasses, but to have cool glasses. I saw one the other day where the kid was actually wearing fake glasses so he could be cool. But for many of our kids, it could be a stigma if it's not done right, and I think this is really, really important. I think the other thing that's important is that every citizen in New York should feel that they have something to contribute to public education. You don't have to be a public school parent to understand that the future of the city is in our kids' hands. If they go to college, they're going to be the workers that are going to be able, like I used to say, to supply my Social Security check. I'm way beyond that at this point. But it really is important for more companies, I think, to come forward, and more organizations, certainly like how we're working with Children's Aid Society, to understand that this job, and it's an enormous job, cannot be done single-handedly. It cannot be done just with principals and teachers, although this school is doing an extraordinary effort. This is my third time here, and I come here just to smile. I come here because I know this principal has taken the job of being a Renewal community school to a very high level, and she's only been here 6 months, and it's amazing what she's done already. So I want to congratulate her and her community, and also ask more people to take on public education as a cause, not because we're a charity, but because we're an investment in the future of New York City. So thank you. Oh, en español.
Well, I like that last line.
Okay.
That was good.
Es muy importante que toda la gente de la ciudad de Nueva York se dé cuenta que la responsabilidad para educar a nuestros hijos es de todos. Todas las compañías, todos los padres, todas las iglesias, todas las comunitarias. Es importante que se den cuenta que el futuro de esta ciudad va a depender en los trabajos que tengan nuestros hijos y que estén aquí para ayudarnos a nosotros cuando seamos muchísimo más viejos y que nos puedan ayudar cuando necesitamos. Y esto no es una caridad. Esto es un, okay, now you have the investment. Help me here. Es una inversión en el futuro. Muchísimas gracias.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you. Isn't it? Okay. We just did our little Spanish coaching there. Thank you. Before we turn to our heroes and the men of the hour, I want to thank the public advocate who has really been a believer in the community schools effort and understands, as she's a proud graduate of New York City Public Schools, and she understands what reaching the whole family and the whole child means to turning around the trajectory of so many children and making education work for them. Our public advocate, Tish James.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here at PS 50, and thank you all for being here. I especially want to thank the administration for expanding community schools. I want to thank Mayor de Blasio, Deputy Mayor Richard Bury, Chancellor Carmen Farina, Commissioner Mary Bassett, Principal Esther Quinones, and of course I want to thank Warby Parker and their CEOs for the gift of sight. Thank you. So I'm thrilled to be here today as we announce this incredible partnership. And as most of you know, the school is useless if the students inside it can't see the chalkboard or the computer screen or the worksheet. I have a saying when I attend graduates and when I visit a number of schools, that when you open a school door, you close a prison door. You see, I attended PS 39 in Park Slope, and as a child, I was diagnosed with a stigma, amblyopia strabismus. I had an exam, but it all started with an eye exam at my school. Vision tests are critically important, and now our children will be afforded the opportunity to have these vision tests. But of course, diagnosis is only part of it. If a child is diagnosed with the vision problem and can't afford glasses, how can they learn? I was fortunate. I was able to get an operation, and I was able to get glasses. But thanks to Warby Parker, our students will not only get glasses, but some of the most stylish glasses. As a teenager, I didn't wear my glasses because they were not cool. In fact, they were corny. But now being cool and being smart are in. And so unfortunately, too many children, particularly children in low-income communities, go without vision screenings and glasses because they are inaccessible and unaffordable. And more than 20% of school-aged children have some type of vision impairment. Correcting my vision opened up the world to me and opened up the world of education and books, and allowed me to dream beyond my surroundings and my circumstance. And that is why public-private partnerships like this one we are announcing today are so important. I thank you for your gift of sight. I thank you for all that you are going to do for children in the city of New York. And I thank the mayor of the city of New York. And I cannot speak Spanish. All I can say is buenos dias a todos and no más. Gracias. Thank you.
And Tish, thank you. That's a powerful example. Someone who's one of the leading elected officials of our city who would obviously not be in the role she's in today had her vision challenge not been caught and addressed when she was a child. So you are a powerful testament to what a difference it can make in a young person's life. And you turned out pretty good. Now I want to turn to the co-CEOs of Warby Parker, David Gilboa and Neil Blumenthal. They have been innovators in business, changing the way the glasses are sold. They were told it was not possible. We can all relate to that, and you overcame barriers, and so many of us have learned along the way to not listen to the critics, but do what we think is right, and I congratulate you for your success. But I congratulate you even more for basing the whole concept of the company on one pillar, which was a philanthropic idea. You not only are a company that, of course, is there to achieve the company's goals, you also have a profoundly philanthropic instinct running through everything that you do. And you've been donating glasses on a worldwide scale, and now you're going to make a huge impact on the children of New York City. Let's welcome Dave Gilboa and Neil Blumenthal. I'll give you a little extra height if you want it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll go first so Neil can do our piece in Spanish afterwards. But yeah, we're really thrilled to be here to kick off this partnership that is going to have a massive impact on tens of thousands of children's lives. And we started Warby Parker really with the goal of transforming the optical industry. We didn't think it made sense that prescription glasses can often cost $500 or more. And by designing and producing our own eyewear, we're able to cut out all the middlemen, have a more efficient model, and offer prescription glasses starting at $95. And we sell those glasses through our website at warbyparker.com, through our 12 retail stores, 3 of which are right here in New York, as is our headquarters down in Soho. But we also recognize that there are many people in the U.S. that still can't afford eye exams and still can't afford prescription glasses at $95. And so we're thrilled to announce the partnership with the City of New York to provide glasses to students in need as part of the Community Schools initiative. Lack of vision care is a critical issue for local students. We estimate that between 20 and 25% of New York City public school students have vision problems and require optometric testing that they don't have access to. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, vision disability is the single most prevalent disabling condition amongst children in the United States. So we've been actively trying to address this issue and are proud to take steps with the City of New York to find a solution. As part of this program, Warby Parker will provide one pair of glasses to all community school students who need them during the 2015 and 2016 school year. And for the following 3 years, Warby Parker will provide one pair of glasses to all new and transfer community school students who need them.
Part two.
So over the past year, we've been piloting our own program to distribute glasses to students in need through different public schools and schools in low-income communities. Our hope is that we can guarantee that all students here in New York City have the glasses accessible to them that they need to be successful. If this program is successful, which we hope it will be, our hope is to expand it to all students in need throughout New York City. An emphasis for serving the community is one that's been part of the DNA of Warby Parker since the beginning. We believe that companies should be stakeholder-centric and should think about not only, shareholders, but should be thinking about customers, employees, the environment, and the community at large in every decision that we make. From day one, we've been distributing a pair of glasses for every pair that we sell. And we found that these glasses can be transformative. They can increase somebody's productivity by 35% and their income by 20%. These are a tool like a pair of glasses is completely transformative. Now that we've distributed over 1 million pairs of glasses to people in need in the developing world, we're proud to work with the city to figure out how we can provide that same service here in New York City. Over the past year, we've been piloting a program targeting at young people from low-income communities who, as the mayor mentioned, may not even be aware that they need glasses. Our goal is to provide these students with their very first pair of glasses so that they can experience the immediate and direct positive impact that a pair of glasses can have on one's life, especially in academics. And then we can see that these will be individuals that will wear and use glasses to be productive and successful throughout their educational journey and in their career. We want to give a big thanks to our team, in particular to Anjali Kumar, our general counsel who leads social innovation, to Jesse Schultz and the entire social innovation team. There are over 500 people that work at Warby Parker who every day come to work excited because they know that their work positively impacts the community. And we're so proud to be working here in our own backyard and partnering with the mayor and the mayor's office and his team to ensure that kids get the eye exams they need and the glasses they need to see the chalkboard, to do their homework, and to fulfill their educational promise. So a big thank you, and we look forward to working with the mayor's office for years to come. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take questions on topic, followed by off topic, on topic. Yes.
Are the kids going to be able to pick out their glasses?
Aha.
Your business model works?
Well, I usually really be answering the question, but yes. And I think it was so great that you were talking about having cool glasses because they're going to have a choice of, I think, between 10 and 12 pairs that the young people can choose from. They can find something they love, and they'll get excited when they get it. It'll be something they chose, and yes, it'll be great.
Get some product placement here, guys.
Are they going to get top-of-the-line lenses?
Well, you can get the all red version. This is particularly stylish. I knew you'd want that. No, I didn't say I'd do that much. I did say I'd hold them up for you, suggestively, though. I could do one of these, All right, on topic. Beth.
So you've raised the budget for the Community Schools, Renewal Schools initiative twice already this year, in your executive budget and again in the budget agreement announced the other night. And I'm wondering, why? Did you look at programs like this and say, we're going to need much more to make these programs successful? Did you think that maybe you needed more money to pay for the teachers and the extended day? You know, why have you increased the budget so much?
Well, I think the bottom line is that both the Renewal Schools effort and the community schools effort are growing as we speak. We obviously believe they are central elements of our approach to education, and we intend for them both to succeed. So we're building out this effort right now, and between the preliminary budget and the end of the budget process this week, we determined there were additional needs that we wanted to address. It's as simple as that, and you've obviously seen what's been delineated for the adopted budget. So I think I've made very clear that on something that we consider to be transformative, like community schools and like Renewal Schools, we're going to keep making investments as we see fit, as we see a need. On topic, yes.
Will sunglasses be available as one of the choices?
Will sunglasses be available? I don't think sunglasses are in the offing here. That is going to be considered an optional category, sunglasses. That's right, that's right. Yes.
¿Cómo surge la iniciativa de esta unión en sí? Yo sé que es para ayudar a los niños, pero ¿cómo se determinó que elegir esta compañía óptica con la oficina de usted?
I'm going to let the chancellor get a shot at that, 'cause I can't do all that in Spanish.
How did you come to our attention?
How did we come to our attention?
How did you come to our attention? Mira, la cosa principal es que siempre supimos que hay varias cosas de salud que son necesarias para los niños aprender. Tienen que ver bien, tienen que oír bien y tienen que venir a la escuela con salud y bien, con comida en la barriga. Pero estamos ahora también mirando quién en la ciudad nos puede ayudar. So the question is, how did you come to our attention?
Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Okay. Okay. And then I'll translate it. Yes.
There you go.
Well, of course, when we thought about who we would want to work with in this area, in this arena of manufacturers and designers, the first thought of everybody was Warby Parker. So we called you, and they were already thinking about and working on a pilot, and we came together to think about how we could grow a pilot and really offer this service to all our students at school.
Okay, so I'll translate that. Okay. Cuando empezamos a pensar que esto es una cosa que necesitábamos, la primera compañía que pensamos era esta compañía porque tienen fama de hacer lentes, espejuelos que no son todos normal. They're cool. I don't want to translate that into Spanish. They're cool. Y los llamamos y como ya tenían el pensamiento de ayudar a la ciudad de una manera, dijeron que sí y aquí están.
Yeah, they're cool. They're a homegrown company, and they already had shown a great track record for being charitable, so it all came together. Yes, please, Lindsay.
If this was ever expanded to include every school and every student in the city, how many students do you think actually need glasses and don't have them? And how much also is this costing the company?
I'll let them talk about what it costs the company. The estimate, as they said, they estimate about 20% of New York City school children need glasses. So even when so our expectation, for example, of the 65,000 students who are in public schools, we expect that over 4 years, it'll mean that 20,000 students over 4 years will get glasses. Obviously, it could be higher, it could be lower, but it's an estimate. And the way this project works is that all students get a screening, and it's sort of the normal sort of close and far screening, the letter chart. And then based on that screening, we identify which students need an examination. And then based on the examination, we identify who needs glasses. We write prescriptions. We get the prescriptions to Warby Parker, and they manufacture the glasses and get them to us. So it's an estimate, but maybe 20% would be a rough estimate.
And what was the second part of the question?
You talk about the cost.
Sure. So we don't publicly talk about our cost structure, but we expect over the course of 4 years to distribute 20,000 pairs of glasses. And so that is a very substantial investment in terms of both capital and resources that we're making in this partnership. And there was another question earlier about if we're going to be offering high-quality lenses. We're working with our existing suppliers using the same standards for glasses that we sell. And so they're going to be very high-quality materials, and we are making a real investment here.
Yeah,
Please, go ahead.
We built Warby Parker with this core to the model. So if you were to talk to any of our employees, they know that a portion of their time is dedicated to this. So the same teams are working on this, whether it's from the design, from the supply chain and production perspective, as Dave mentioned, from a quality control protocol. And that's why we wanted to sort of design frames that students really want to wear, because this is about dignity. Glasses are a core part of one's identity, so those glasses have to properly fit somebody's sense of style and being, and likewise enable them to see, to learn, to be productive members of the community.
I just want to brag about also what a great company this is, because they're not, the Warby Parker brand is not going to be on the glasses. So, you can imagine this as an excuse to sort of get free and cheap marketing around. But rather than doing that, they want to make sure that it's about the glasses. And so they're actually, I think, giving up a lot of free advertising they could be doing. And I think it really speaks to what a great institution it is. We've just been really blessed and honored to partner with you.
On topic, yes.
One of the parts of your business model is to actually let people who get glasses try them on and decide that they don't like them to exchange them. Is that going to be part of this? And as another question, this is a 4-year partnership. Sometimes kids need to get stronger lenses. Is that factored in at all into the program?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we have a couple ways that people can try on glasses before they purchase. So you can walk into one of our stores, try on glasses. We offer a home try-on program where you can select any 5 frames from our site. We'll send them to you without prescription lenses for free, include a free return shipping label, so you can try them on before we actually cut the prescription lenses. And for this program, we will be giving every child a choice, so they'll be able to select between 10 to 12 different styles. And so they'll be able to try them on, see which ones they like before we actually cut the prescription lenses. And so they'll be going through kind of the same process that many of our customers do. And for this program, we're initially focused on getting every child who needs a pair of glasses that first pair, so they understand how transformative a pair of glasses can be. And we're still working on opportunities, whether it's a continuation of this partnership or there are other local resources and organizations that we can tap into to figure out how to ensure that those children continue to get the glasses they need over time.
Yes.
Do you have any long-term expectations on how this program might affect the rate of special ed placements, given that there's a lot of over-identification of students because of vision issues that often is translated as reading disabilities?
No, we don't have an estimate about the impact, but you're right to point to the problem that oftentimes, we do know that oftentimes, and I forget the percentages, but there's a high percentage of children who are misdiagnosed as having special education issues, where really what they have are vision issues. So we do expect there is a connection, and that should have long-term benefits for the system. I don't have the numbers right now about what that estimate is.
Okay, last call. On topic. On topic going once. Oh, yes.
Mr. Mayor, speaking of glasses for students, what about the 36,000 New York City Black and Latino students that don't have sports in the city?
I think that's not on topic. I'm happy to come to that off topic. We're talking about glasses here and community schools, renewal schools. Rich.
Since neither of you is named Warby, or
How did it happen? Good question. Who the heck is Warby Parker, right?
We didn't think Blumenthal Gilboa would perform as well as a consumer brand. Warby Parker is very much has a literary heritage to it and is inspired by writers, which is also one of the reasons why education is so important to us. So Warby Parker is actually 2 early Jack Kerouac characters, and we discovered these characters actually at the main branch New York Public Library. So Warby Pepper and Zag Parker were 2 baseball players, and Kerouac always had interesting stories in his mind. And again, these were stories that we discovered at the New York Public Library. It was actually funny, when we did our first fashion presentation, we went back to the main branch public library, and that was the first place that we sort of showcased the brand to the world.
Who would have known that if you hadn't asked, Rick? Thank you. Last call on topic. Going once, going twice. Off topic. Off topic. Yes, Emily.
I think you may or may not agree that New York City came out on the short end of things after the decisions in Albany last night. What was your first reaction when you learned some of your initiatives?
Well, Albany is continuing its session as we speak, so I'll give you a couple of reactions. First of all, I want to thank the New York State Assembly. Has been consistently responsive to the city's concerns. They've been serious, they've been resolute, and they've gotten a lot done, particularly on issues like rent regulation. And that issue, as you know, is still being debated as we speak, although we see some very promising signs on rent regulation. 421A is now very much on the table. There's a real dialogue happening on that right now. So I think we all need to step back and see where this process is leading us. But again, I want to really thank Speaker Hastie and the Assembly for the very constructive role they have been playing. And, you know, we don't know if the session is going to end today, tomorrow, or some other day. But, you know, we're focused right now on what's going on with both the rent issue and the 421A issue. Jonathan?
Another piece, though, is the mayoral control of the city schools. You, of course, initially asked for permanent control, then you were willing to do 3 years. You've got only 1. Your thoughts on that?
I'll have plenty to say about that when the session is over. Right now, our focus is on rent regulation and 421A.
Mayor, in light of the difficulties you've had with the state Senate, do you think that perhaps it was a mistake to campaign so aggressively against the Republicans last year?
No.
Can you tell me why you don't think it's a mistake?
I think, as I've said many times, all over this country, it is normal for a member of a political party to support other members of that political party. It's just as simple as that.
Mayor, this morning, though, on what happened in Albany, or what's happening in Albany, there were a lot of rent-stabilized folks protesting this morning in front of Governor Cuomo's office on 3rd Avenue, and they were calling him a liar and a turncoat and a Republican. Are they wrong?
Again, that issue is still being debated right now, and it does not make sense to speak to the final resolution until we see the final resolution. I think they've seen some real progress so far in what we're hearing over the rent resolution in Albany, but it ain't over till it's over in Albany, so we're going to wait and see what the final product is.
How do you think not changing 421A would affect the affordable housing? If they just extend it for 6 months, I mean, is this going to hurt you?
Again, there's a real dialogue going on right now on 421A. Our focus is on greatly intensifying the affordability that can be achieved through 421A. I've spoken to this issue many times as to the vision we have for making 421A a real vehicle for greater affordability for New Yorkers. Some very serious discussions are happening right now, and we have to see where that leads us.
It looks like the number of charters in New York City is going to expand likely by 50, although I know discussions are still ongoing. That's when you initially disagreed with. I'm wondering what your thoughts are today.
Same category. The discussions are ongoing. We don't have a clear resolution. I've made my position quite clear on that matter. But we, as you know, in Albany, lots of things can change, so we're waiting to see where it all leads us.
Yesterday, a member of the NYPD testified to City Council that about 20% of narcotics arrests on Staten Island were linked to heroin. And that's become a growing problem on the island, particularly as prescription painkiller arrests have decreased, more people are turning to heroin. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that as a problem on Staten Island and what you think would be what you think is your strategy, the city's strategy to combat heroin on Staten Island specifically.
I'll start, and if Commissioner Bassett has anything to add, I welcome it. I've spoken to Commissioner Bratton and the leadership of the NYPD on this on several occasions. We're all keenly aware that there is a crisis right now that has to be addressed in terms of heroin usage, and that it is particularly hit hard on Staten Island. And I think the NYPD is modifying its approaches to address that crisis. As you know, that also includes having, in many cases, the drug available that can help to stop an overdose in progress. So it's very much on our minds. We're very concerned. I know families have suffered tremendous losses, and it's something that we are focused on. Would you like to add at all?
Well, I don't really have anything to add on the drug seizure part of the conversation, but of course, the health department's very concerned about the rates of opiate deaths, both related to prescription painkillers and to heroin. And Staten Island, in that regard, is a real success story. By taking a multi-pronged strategy, we have greatly reduced, seen a great reduction in the number of opiate deaths on Staten Island. And our position is that these deaths can be averted if we put naloxone in the hands of first responders. The NYPD has reversed a number of overdose deaths and saved a life. The next step is that people need to have a clear and simple path to recovery, and we've been promoting access to drug-assisted recovery from opiate addiction. And of course, working with the medical care community to ensure that they understand safe and judicious prescribing behavior for prescription painkillers, which for some people is the first step into opiate use.
Just as a quick follow-up, what are you guys doing in terms of stopping it before people become addicted? Because some of what you talk about is the people who are...
Well, a key part of this is working with healthcare providers and promoting what we call safe and judicious opiate prescribing. That means that people shouldn't overprescribe these medications, either in primary care or in the emergency department. And also, as you're aware, that we have, through RxStat, a way of looking at people who are prescription shopping.
As part of our reorganization, one of the things we're doing is having borough directors, and we've also instructed the borough director in Staten Island to pay particular attention to putting education resources, particularly in the middle schools and high schools. So we're trying to do it in many different levels, stopping it before it starts, but certainly being aware that education does play an important part in this particular issue.
Meaning educating people about the threat.
Educating, and the kids and the parents. We have already started talking. I was out in Staten Island last week, and this was one of the issues that came up, and that was one of the promises to the community. We're going to have it on our radar screen as a preventive.
Thank you.
Given what's happened, some of what's happened over the last couple of days, do you feel as if your relationship with the governor has grown even more strained?
You know, again, right now, real work is happening in Albany, and we're very focused on the 421A issue. We're very focused on the rent issue. I'm, as I said, very, very appreciative of the Assembly's efforts and the Speaker's efforts. I'll have more to say on other situations later on.
Mr. Mayor, we understand that this handcuffed suspect was able to get out of police custody 4 hours ago. Can you give us the latest on what you know of what happened and the investigation where it stands?
I don't think I have more than you have on what happened. I spoke to Commissioner Bratton. We are very confident that this suspect will be back in our hands quite soon.
I wanted to ask about a bill that passed the Senate, seems to have some forward momentum in Albany, that would exempt bus drivers from the right-of-way. Policies around Vision Zero create some exemptions for them. Any comment on the momentum building around that legislation in Albany, and what it would do to your Vision Zero plan?
I cannot give you an update on the specific conversations on that in Albany. I can tell you that we believe fundamentally in Vision Zero, and the numbers prove already the impact of these policies. Obviously, the lowest number of pedestrian deaths since 1910 last year, best record in over a century. And it's predicated upon a very consistent approach to enforcement, to changing the design of intersections, speed limits, speed cameras, et cetera. So we want to make sure that the consistency of Vision Zero is maintained. I've said also that we respect the fact that there are real issues that bus drivers have raised that are different than Vision Zero, but really need to be looked at in terms of route design, in terms of schedules. There's been an allegation that some of the physical design of the buses creates a challenge. That needs to be taken seriously and looked at. But the basic law has to apply equally to all drivers. That's foundational to its effectiveness.
Thank you very much.
Wait, let me give Marcia a shot. Go ahead.
Bill that
passed in the legislature was the bill to provide pension relief for recently hired police and firefighters. I wonder how you feel about that. And also, several sources say that you were willing to do it for the firefighters, but not the police unions. Could you comment on that?
Again, I've been very consistent on this point. We, with the City Council, voted on a home rule for a bill that would address the disability needs of our first responders and do it in a very comprehensive manner, but also in a fiscally responsible manner looking ahead to the future of our city. You know, in my role, I cannot just think about the budget we're about to vote on in a few days. I have to think about what the city is going to be like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And the legislation passed by the City Council is a fair compromise, and that's what we stand by. Thanks, everyone.